welcome back to another episode of the Truth and Transparency podcast with your host, Brother X, and
a very, very sleepy cultured scientist. Woo woo.
Sound like you were on a commercial for NyQuil. Have y'all like?
I mean, not yet.
Listeners, I need you to know the cultured scientist snores like this.
I would do how Brother X snores.
Oh no, I sound like a Snorlax. Trust me, my snoring is diabolical. My shit sound like sawing logs.
See, he can describe his snoring better than I can.
But here on the Truth and Transparency podcast, we talk openly and honestly about everything in between, why people can't get right in 2024. And we just out here having a good time, man. Good fellowship, good friends, good talks, all those good things. But we've got a really good episode for you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce our host. You know her, you love her. I have a permanent step stool right beside her seat in the studio. Not coach of scientist, Queen C. Introduce yourself. Oh, your step stool is on back order, so I'll get you one later, coach of scientist. All right, Queen C, introduce yourself.
It's all right, culture scientists. We gonna be in the short club together.
I know. Okay. God
Anyway, it's your girl and newest unpaid intern to the podcast, Queen C, 61.5 inches of fluff and fun. Hey, y'all, it's been some shaking up going on here lately. Madam Vice President, Miss Kamala Harris, has finally revealed her running mate. A Mr. Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota. And I'll be honest, y'all, I didn't know who he was at first. I had to do some research because I saw Tim, thought I was going to say Kane, didn't, had to take the L. But no, Mr. Tim Walz has been elected twice as Minnesota's governor. He has legalized marijuana in the state. He is for women's rights. He is for DEI. He is for a correct education and for children learning history the way history happened. And he has been on Donald Trump and the Republicans' asses all year long. Y'all can look up some clips of him on CNN or MSNBC. When I say he about that life, he about that life. And I am not mad because we all know our sister had to pick a white man as the running mate just to garner some of those votes. She picked a hell of a white man. I'm going to give it to her. Do y'all have thoughts of Mr. Tim Walz, Brother X?
I, along with the Black delegation, have taken custody of our illegitimate child and added a T to his last name, so it's Waltz, like the dance. From now on, I don't care. It is what it is. But shout out to him, former educator. He I don't know if you highlight this, but he also started a straight gay alliance at the high school that he also coached at. If you want to hit on all the points on progressive things and doing things that just frankly make sense, yeah, he seems like a phenomenal pick. He, like you said, he wasn't somebody that I was aware of, but I'm like, it was a very pleasant surprise where I'm like, I didn't know these people still existed. The way politics have been going. Coach Scientist, you have any thoughts?
I expected a white man.
That's a safe bet.
I expected that. Because yeah.
We're still in America.
We're in America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's well put. Coach Scientist, well put.
However, she did a very good job with balance. I don't know who this person is. That's also a good job, I guess. But I'm also not into politics a lot. So maybe he's either a really well kept secret or either I just am that ignorant. Who knows? One of the two. But yeah, I'm excited to see where it's gonna go with that. Again, the lesser of the two evils. Again, she had to find somebody to balance her out. And there are a lot of people who still don't like her. So hey, she got some balance there. Go. Good job. I know where I'm voting.
Okay. Well, we would get his thoughts, but he's too busy planning his next getaway with all the exuberant amounts of money he has at his access right now. Mr. Smith, introduce yourself.
Boy, if you don't get.
Let's make this very clear, listeners. I don't know what the fuck Brother X talking about. This nigga's broke, okay? This nigga's trying to survive day to day. With the amount that shit costs these days, this nigga's broke. Anywho.
Broke five broke.
We ain't
got it.
If I go outside, I got the only clothing on. But I'm the person that don't got the only clothing on. I ain't got no shoes. I ain't got no car. None of that. Anywho. It's your favorite fed, Mr. Smith, also known as the Soundbite Poppy, also known as Mr.
Goddamn.
And I want to thank the listeners for the comments, the place of subscriptions. Keep feeding us, we'll keep feeding y'all. Number one, shout out to Counterculture Podcast for always showing us love and support. Number two, happy anniversary to the exquisite event that we deemed Fade in the Water. If you don't know what I'm talking about, listeners, let the song tell it for you.
In the water. Sorry.
Done.
You mean lift every chair and swing?
Bravo. Yes, that one. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, listeners, just let the song tell it for itself.
Hey, I'm really proud of y'all. Montgomery Brawl. Bitch, not one but them all. Montgomery Brawl. Shout out bro that can swim. Montgomery Brawl. Shit, really order them.
Yeah,
Montgomery Brawl.
That was there. And when I tell you they explained this song, they explained that shit to perfection.
Everybody about to witness it. Bro told them to move, just doing his job. But y'all wanted to jump him, so now we got a prize. All right, bet. Let me tell y'all what really happened. Heard they was jumping on my cousin, let me off, Captain. Cuz came out the water like, let's get it cracking. Came with the chair like I got some action.
Yeah. That's we just will leave that there. And number three, people out in the world that listen to podcasts, mind your goddamn business, okay? This is not the 1980s. This is not the 1990s. Hell, this ain't even the early 2000s. This is 2024. So when you have those people that say, oh, just make sure you save up by your bootstraps and save your pennies. So that way you can buy a house or do all that. Nigga, let me explain something to you. When I was working at McDonald's in 2004, 2004, a Big Mac meal, a number one was $4.98. These days, it starts at $9.11 is the cheapest I've seen. Usually it's about 10, 11 bucks. And that's a medium. Make sure it's clear. That's a medium. Okay. That is within the last 20 years. So if that went up, and the fact that eggs, which used to cost maybe like 99 cents, maybe $1.09, maybe $1.39 if you're getting expensive, is now like $4. Houses that you could make a salary back then for about 80,000 roughly, but with the combined income, you could get a nice size house. Nigga, them houses start at 400,000. Okay, they start same square footage, same everything. So when I tell you, you wonder why millennials and all that aren't buying houses and all that. That's why, because nigga, we are broke. Hence why, as I said, Brother X earlier, who got money? Ain't me at all. Niggas just trying to survive day to day at these points. Anywho, back to you.
I appreciate it, Mr. Smith. You know, man, it's really interesting, man, Doc. I went to McDonald's. Speaking of that, I went to McDonald's the other day and I was getting something off what they call the dollar menu. When the hell did McChicken start being more than $1?
I think it's more than $1.
Dog, all I see is the Biggie meals from Wendy's and all that other shit. Dog, just give me.
That's why you better off getting the fire thing.
Dog, I still remember a better time, a more holier than thou time, when I could give my homeboy, Mr. Smith, $10, $5 for gas to take him to the McDonald's and $5 to get him some food. And this man could eat like a king. My man had a 20-piece with the fry and the big sweet tea. Or lemonade. I'm sorry, lemonade. Let me get that right.
Yeah,
and that was all of like $12.
If you were gonna say sweet tea, that's Drewski. Lemonade's me though.
Or the orange high C.
Orange high C, yes.
I could attest I remember a holier time, a happier time where one Mr. Smith basically told me, "Bitch, get your ass in the car." Drove me to McDonald's, told me I had $5, and I got 2 McChickens, a small fry, a sweet tea, and apple turtle.
Had a whole meal.
Not no more. No more.
You feeling it, Coach the Scientist?
For myself, yes.
Oh, I was just making sure. Go on.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah. Just not no more.
All right. Mr. Smith.
I just want to add one piece to Queen C's story. The correct terminology was, "What do you want to eat?" She responded, "I have no money." My response was, "Did I ask you if you had money?"
Damn.
And she's like, "Oh, okay." I said, "You got $5. Make it work." She went out that dollar menu and ate like a queen.
First off, when he said I had $5, I asked, "Does that include tax?" Because I wanted 5 items. You gonna give me $5? I'm gonna get 5 items.
Cookout wasn't $5 no more.
Dog, I'm so upset. Cookout. How they had one
It
job?
used to be $4 or something.
I can spend $5 to get 20 things.
Yes.
Nigga, I can get 3 quesadillas, 2 sloppy joes, a medium fry,
Yep.
2 milkshakes
Yippity hop.
for $3.75.
Yippity hop.
Hippity hop. All right, we moving on. All right, we gotta go ahead and hop into this mental health check because I don't know where. I don't know. No. We're gonna move on. I don't know where the culture scientist brain is right now, but how are y'all doing mentally?
I was trying to see if you were going to catch up.
Oh no, I'm very attentive. I see what you did there by saying catch up, but we're not talking about that. How are you doing mentally, culture scientist? Because I need to know where your brain went.
Well, I was being just silly. Just
Okay.
To see, what would happen.
Okay.
Number one. Right. Brother.
Okay.
It's my birthday month. I'm very excited. I haven't been excited in a while. So I'm just really, really excited to do stuff. The main thing, I'm relaxing and then having fun and then seeing people. It's like just like that.
The what?
Do.
Can we get that as a soundbite? Mrs. Smith, we're gonna put you on that.
Sure.
I expect it by next episode.
And your expectations gonna fail. Continue, culture scientist.
And I will send you 3 McChickens if you don't shush.
Nigga, you need to send me a Ruth Chris steak for that.
For a soundbite? See, listeners, you try to give these people an opportunity, an unpaid opportunity, and you see what you get.
So, Mr. Smith, you saying
black
he owes
people.
you a lobster?
All right,
Go ahead, culture scientist. We sorry.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. We're being very.
Wait.
We're gonna move on.
I have been a little bit more productive, and I'm really proud of myself on that. So I'm trying to keep up that momentum.
Mm-hmm.
And I work with that momentum and work, I have to do all these things where I have to add a whole bunch of names. So it takes a lot of time. So I actually have all the way up to the first week of September, all the way through. So yeah, it's just really kind of nice to be a little forward. And then, to keep my sanity, I have been puzzling on my iPad. That's been fun. And yeah, the Olympics have been just fun to watch.
I agree. We'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah.
Queen C, how are you doing mentally?
I'm about 50-50. It's a good week at work because my asshole of a manager is on vacation. Hallelujah. Gearing up. Apparently it's a lot of August babies. Shout out to culture scientists. I have a big family event coming up called the Week of Birthdays, where somehow, some way, my sister managed to have 3 kids in the second week of August.
Hey.
And they all live in their Leo aura. God bless them. So I have 3 outfits apiece for 3 children. And then wherever they want to eat and whatever they want to do for the weekend. Outside of that, been staying to myself, been chilling, been picking up on reading my Bible again because people be trying me. But yeah. Should be fun.
Okay. We already know how Mr. Smith is feeling, so we're just going to go ahead and skip to me real quick. No, I'm kidding. Mr. Smith, how are you doing mentally?
Trust and believe. Keep going. Like I can't remove all the audio from this bitch. I will, as you said in our pre-show, I will shut this bitch down.
I think you would hurt you. Like,
I will literally put up the audio unedited and just leave it as it is.
Oh God, that'll be terrible.
Brother.
I promise you, I've done it before. I will do it again.
Anywho,
it'll be called a raggedy episode.
No comment. Anywho, life's been lifing. Just came back from a family reunion, which was fun. Got to spend time with my nieces. Didn't get to see all of them, but saw the youngest two. The youngest one is either 2 or 3. I can't remember. No, sorry. Second, the middle child is either 2 or 3. The youngest one just turned 1. And when I tell you that youngest one is like, I'm trying to walk. I don't want to be picked up. I want to walk. So she literally is grabbing my 2 index fingers and is walking up and down a hill. And when I tell you she was like Michael Jackson on her tiptoe the entire time, it was by far the cutest and funniest thing ever. But let it be known, when them legs gave out, she turned to me like, all right, nigga, pick me up now. I was like, okay. And apparently, I guess I must have good aura because the middle niece, she doesn't go to anybody except me, her parents, and her grandparents, which is my mom and dad. Those are only 5 people she go to. If she don't like you, she'll shove your hand away and walk away real fast. I'm like, oh damn. But yeah, overall, it was a good day. It was a good time. Also, got to have cookout for the first time in a long time. So that was kind of dope. And yeah, I'm just kind of paying things off, doing the savings challenge, eating healthy, eating clean, and not having to take it back to anybody's head.
That's real.
So adulting.
Yeah, adulting in all its facets.
Yay, we're doing so good. I'm proud of all of you.
We did so good, so I'm proud of all. Okay. All right, so I misread it. I was going to let it go, but then you gave me the face. What? Why does she always got to give me the face, listeners, man? I promise I don't be doing that, man. I just be staying in my lane, man. I just be staying in my lane.
Bullshit, excuse me.
Sir, I promise you, I will drop this thing. Man, this be real Ron Burgundy. Nah, let me stop being foolish. Mentally, I'm doing all right. It's been very interesting. I've been in a weird headspace because as the school year has been going on, I've been in for about 4 weeks now, and I continue to be very reflective. I know I may have shared before about having like former coworkers being gone and trying to figure out my niche, my niche, if I can pronounce words today. And it's just been one of those things where I'm like, I have battles of, am I really needed here? Or I know I can do my job, but you kind of get reflective, like, how am I perceived? Obviously, you don't get too much into what other people think about you, but it's also where I'm like, I'm very cognizant of my perception towards the younger students, making sure that I set a good positive image in their head. And I realize, and I think me and the cultural scientists were talking about this the other day, I don't do nearly as much yelling as I used to do 2 or 3 years ago from teaching. I want to say all the shit that I've been through within the last 2 to 3 years has caused me to soften in a way, not to necessarily say that I'm light on the students, but it's more so that, I don't know, it's just, I choose to be different in my approach. And then when I see how I used to act in other teachers, I'm like, dang, I really hope I didn't look that way, or I didn't used to act that way. Because I found more effective ways to get my point across and to get kids to respond without it. You know? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Excuse me. So besides that, honestly, I think that's kind of where I'm at with things. Obviously, the cultural scientist birthday month is here. Then you got my dad's birthday after that, and then you got my birthday. So I mean, we got a lot of stuff going on. And then listeners, I didn't even realize it. We've been going so hard that literally in about less than 60 days, it will be Culture Scientist and I's 1-year anniversary. So just figuring that out and trying to make plans for that. So we're looking forward to that. We'll probably hopefully drop an episode about our anniversary. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah. So that's where I'm at right now. But I did want to share with the group something I found interesting because I was like prepping for the episode over the weekend, and someone dropped this post on Instagram with the caption, "If you could go to the listening party of any album ever made with the artist that made it, what album would it be?" So I want to open this to all the hosts. What would be your album? Floor is open for anybody that wants to go first. Mr. Smith.
It's a tie between Lil Wayne Dedication 2 mixtape
That's a good one.
or the Black album by Jay-Z.
Sir, kudos. Add in the applause right there. Those are solid. Those are solid. I guess I can go next. So obviously I'm gonna get my one J. Cole pick out of the way. 2014 Forest Field Drive. I need that in my life. I genuinely just want to hear the thought process because after watching the documentary for Revenge of the Dreamers 3 and seeing how Cole and everybody from his label kind of do music and record their recording process, I just know the vibes are going to be immaculate. And then honestly, my other pick would probably be what was it? Michael Jackson. Is it the Thriller album? Or am I thinking of something else?
It's either Thriller or Dangerous.
I want to say the Thriller album. I want to hear that because I know that production was wild. Quincy, do you have one?
I also have two that I'm having a really hard time deciding between. The first one is Usher's Confessions album.
Ooh, that's solid.
I need to. I mean, we all assume it's about his relationship with Chili, but I need to know the semantics. And then my other one might be a little controversial, but for the time when the album dropped, in my opinion, definitely one of this artist's greatest albums of all time, it would be Kanye's My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
That's solid. Although we don't fuck with him now, but back then it was solid.
Yeah. Especially all of the lights and all of the work that went into the production of that with like 30 or 40 different artists just providing small little samples of their vocals. I want to be there.
I want to be one of them in that number. Culture Scientist, do you have one?
I do. I think I would have to go with Solange's "I See It at the Table."
Okay.
That was my like discovery era. And when I really started listening to her whole album, I was like, oh, I love this whole thing. So yeah, I would say I want to go listen to that one.
Okay.
Agreed.
That's solid, man. I mean that is pretty dope. Listeners, let us know in the comments or on social media what you would pick as your one song. Let's go ahead. You know it, you love it. Play the Olympic music.
All right, listeners. Literally, it's going to be about the Olympics.
Mr. Smith, real quick.
Mhm.
So we didn't have any funds for the Olympic music for the intro this week.
Nigga, you won't give me funds or Queen C funds. How you think you get funds for the Olympic music?
I thought I gave you a check. Did it bounce?
Yes, that bitch bounced like a quarter.
I told you to cash it next week. Not this week. I'm sorry, Mr.
Then
Smith.
how we gonna get the Olympic music this week if we can't cash it till next week?
We're gonna backdate it. Don't worry about it.
I'm not dealing with this nigga right now. Ew. It's just gonna be about the Olympics because NFL training camp is going on. There's a couple of injuries, which really aren't gonna be significant. Just gonna keep some people out the preseason. And yeah. So starting off with the US men's and women's basketball team, yeah, they came out of exhibition and was like, all right, let me lead up in the game and cheer. Let me put my headphones on, let me lock in. And they've been whooping people's asses, which I will say this. As much as I am a LeBron James fan, shout out to Kevin Durant, because that nigga is like, all right, let me lock in. And this nigga has been taking names, kicking ass, chewing bubble gum, and he's all out of gum. Um, he pretty much has stepped up like Superman and showing him that, hey, I am still that nigga. He will go down probably top 10 and definitely top 5 in Olympic history. I'd say top 10 all time when he's done, give or take. He has a better chance, but overall he has been showing up. Canada been talking spicy. You know, they've been talking a little spicy these days about how they not worried about the US, and they're yeah, they didn't even get out their own game, right? They got beat by France. So Victor Wembanyama was like, yeah, hold it. So
no. He said, "Oh my
baguette, really, really." Go
I'm
to
gonna
the
give him
corner.
that one.
Yeah,
Nah,
wait, no. That shit
nah.
is gold.
I'm gonna give him that
The
one. I'm
Canadian
sorry.
team don't know nothing about gold, but that shit was gold.
Oh, that was spicy. That was cayenne pepper. Okay, got you.
Thank you.
So yeah, pretty much it's gonna come down between Germany, Serbia, France, the United States. Greece is out, which means no Giannis Antetokounmpo, and of course Canada is out, which means no. Oh my God, geez, me Christmas, I forgot his name already.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yes, yes, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That was what I was thinking of, and then Jokic's running partner.
Jamal Murray.
Thank you. So yeah, right now it's looking like United States should be able to just, finish strong and get the gold, but shit happens. So we'll see what happens as we continue on. Going into the gymnastics, and Simone Biles has pretty much shown us that even at 27 years old, she's still the GOAT. It don't matter what you think. She's the fucking GOAT. Even with an injury, she's like, y'all still gotta bow down to me. So going into the floor exercise at the end of her routine, or end of her section of events, she ended up getting the silver, where Rebecca Andrade, I think that's how you pronounce her name, correct me if I'm wrong, ended up taking gold, which everybody kind of was like, that's a 1-2, you don't know which way you're gonna go about it. And Suni ended up taking the bronze, which was awesome because it is pretty much an all black podium. Shit was great. I just feel like this summer has been blackity black. From Kendrick Lamar's pop-out show to seeing all 3 of them on the podium, it's been amazing. Suni and Simone ended up doing a bow to her as she got up for the first place and getting the gold medal, and then all of them held hands. It was really a good moment. So again, black women killing. To track, Sha'Carri Richardson and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price were the favorites for the 100 meters, but ended up having an interesting situation when it came to that race. And for that, I'm going to go to my correspondent, Queen C, who has a little bit more on that whole scenario.
Thank you so much, Mr. Smith. We are live outside of the track and field stadium. Nah, I wish. But what happened is, after the qualifiers and the semifinal races, athletes go home or go back to the Olympic Village, wherever they're staying. During that night, allegedly coming from the International Olympic Committee, was a rule change enforced, saying that in order for the track and field athletes to access the warm-up area from the drop-off zone, they had to arrive on team shuttles or buses. Well, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price and Sha'Carri Richardson were not staying in the Olympic Village. They were staying closer to the venue and therefore got dropped off by private car. Getting to the gate, they were refused entry into the warm-up area by the security, who told them they would have to walk around to the main entrance through the stadium to get to the warm-up area, which is a total of about 1 hour to do so. And then after that, they would have little to no time to warm up before the actual race took place. Rightfully and understandably so, Shelly Ann decided, I'm not racing. You're not going to, this is going to be my last Olympics anyway. You're not going to compromise me for this race. So she bowed out, to which IOC tried to claim that she bowed out because of an injury sustained in the semi. She was not injured. Sha'Carri, this being her first Olympics, because we know what happened when she tried to go to Tokyo, was like, I'm not missing another chance to race in the Olympics. So she makes the walk, gets to the warm-up area just in time to be introduced out to the track to run the 100.
That's petty.
So,
yeah.
To which I say, whether it was the International Olympic Committee, the French Olympic Committee, or just the security at the venue, fuck all you hoes.
Sheesh.
Because we all know that those two women were your gold and silver. And if Shelly Ann had dropped out and Sha'Carri had the chance to warm up properly, I mean, shout out to St. Lucia, but I feel like Richardson would have beat her.
I mean, that's a fair assessment.
Yeah. And taking over from here, I agree. The fact that Sha'Carri with no warm-up got silver speaks volumes, because you're telling me you pretty much are like a 16-year-old that just got on the court and with just no warm-up, like just took the warm-up off, like, all right, put me in the game, coach. And you putting up 25 and 12? Like, nigga, what? So, it's really messed up, but I take solace in thinking that this is, as Queen C said, this is Sha'Carri's first Olympics. She will be back, and if everything goes the way it should, she coming for that gold. That is happening. Moving on.
I have a question real quick.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Why would that be? Why do they have to sit? Why do they have to take the shuttle? Did they give a reason?
No.
No, and it's hard to know because it's still a lot of speculation. There hasn't been like an official, there's no proof one way or another. So it's a he said, she said thing. And Queen C, you looked it up where it says like the IOC president is French, correct?
I did look it up, and he is German, so he would be more fair as far as situations like that. So, like I said, it allegedly came from the IOC, from what speculation is, but based off the situation, I think it came from the French Olympic Hosting Committee.
Fair enough. Well, not fair enough, but I get what you're saying. Okay. Mr. Smith, continue.
So keep it on with the track. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone is the queen of the 400. In the semifinals, she legit, in the 400 hurdles, she legit jogged. Where the rest of the competition is trying so hard, she is jogging and I think she probably had him by like a smooth 30 meters easily. So I'm looking forward to her taking another gold again. Gabby Thomas, I mean, when I tell you she smoked the 200, the semifinal and the final, nobody was touching her. So I was happy to see the emotion that rang out from the fact that like she finally was able to get that gold. So again, Black women winning, blackity black, 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 black. Finally, the men's 100. Noah Lyles won by literally the skin of his teeth. And when I mean that, listeners, I'm talking like, that meme from Pars where Lightning McQueen is lined up against his two oppositions and sticks his tongue out at the finish line so that he's first. That's literally what this was.
Yeah.
Noah Lyles, Kashane Thompson, and Fred Curley were the 1, 2, and 3. And legit, they thought that Kashane Thompson, the Jamaican, had won, but Kashane ended up actually having his foot crossed first, whereas Noah had his chest crossed first. And the rule states your chest and torso, you must be the first with your chest and torso to cross the finish line. So had Kashane probably leaned in, he might have won, but because he pulled up, Noah Lyles won literally by his, like, I think we said it, we made a joke where he literally won by his chest hair. But
he won by a nipple.
Exactly.
Listen, Brother X, I mean, we were sitting there and he was like, wait, we were like, wait, what happened? Did he think he won?
Because he was celebrating hard.
And then I was like, and I'm over here like, yeah, look at his head. Look at his head. He's over here. No. You're saying.
I genuinely, the way my brain, it might have been the fact that I was sleepy because I was about to take a nap before the race happened. But in my mind, I was like, oh yeah, it's my, like, whichever foot cross first. So the torso thing, I was ignorant on the fact.
Oh, I didn't know.
I was ignorant on the fact that it was like, oh yeah, it's your torso. But I'm happy that he won, but that shit is hilarious.
Yeah. I'm happy that he can save face.
Yes. Because if he lost, boy,
he would have been real angry.
And for those out there who don't understand why the rule is your torso and not your foot, it's because the athletes are different heights and your torso is your center of balance and gravity. Therefore, it's more fair.
Thank you.
No, because you can't have Big Toe McGee hopping out there with Kevin Durant size feet. Can't have that.
You can't have Shaq out there with the size 27s.
God, dog, he got some big feet.
I'm learning something today.
Give new meaning to the word big stepper.
I'm just gonna give you a look for that one because you ain't shit. I'm mad that, as you said, big toe. I just thought of SpongeBob taking his driver's license exam, and you hear Patrick say, "Stop, big toe." So, but anywho, the Olympics have been fired. U.S. have been kicking ass. Shout out, of course, thank you, Queasy. Shout out to Katie Ledecky, who has been swimming her ass off and smoked somebody so bad they weren't even in the damn frame.
Yeah,
like legit, they weren't even in the damn frame. So Olympics have been fired. Black women rule. Understand, appreciate Black women, people. And if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, or want to learn more about the NFL, especially with training camps getting ready to really kick in and preseason is on its way, you should hit up Red Wolf on his YouTube and his Instagram. His links will be in the description below.
Coach Science, did you have one last thing before we hit the music?
Yes, one last thing about the Olympics. Listen, just because I have been sucked in,
pause.
Okay, I dived in.
Pause.
Okay, well, it still works. Anyways,
I'm about to dive in.
I'm sorry. Continue.
It's slightly very inappropriate. Anyways, artistic swimming, or better known as
synchronized
swimming, listen, is amazing. If you've never watched it, it's very, 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 very talented. I think of it as like cheerleading with a little bit of actual swimming and Circus Soleil. What else? Yeah, just all that stuff mixed together. Like, it's amazing. And Team USA, for all that, but whatever, just in general, it's really cool to watch. So you should go check it out. And check out all the sports because I've kind of been watching it all. So thanks to Peacock's Gold Zone. Thanks.
There you go. Yeah, it's like water gymnastics, basically.
Yes, thank you. I was like, there's another sport I'm trying to get out. Yeah. Gymnastics, listen.
Yeah.
So yes, it's been quite amazing. Kayaking was interesting. Did you know you have to do a full 360 in the water under a bar? And if you don't, you're disqualified?
I did not know.
Like, bruh. Oh, and then are we not, I mean,
We'll get to it later.
Okay, because this is other funny things. We should talk about the funny things.
Oh Lord. All right. Well, you know what else is funny?
Okay.
Play the other music. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and hop into everybody's favorite segment, which is Now Mind You. In Now Mind You, we talk about things that we find on the internet streets that are very interesting. We use the terminology in the Black vernacular of Now Mind You to tell you the key and vital information or parts of the story that we want you to know we find entertaining. So this was brought to my attention. I was on these social media streets, and I really want to hear Coach's Science's opinion on this because she is a soda connoisseur. I would like to propose to you a series between Coke and Pepsi. I want to see who you think will win in this soda off. Mr. Smith, play the clip.
Who wins in a 5v5 7-game series? Coca-Cola as a brand, which includes Coke, Sprite, Fanta, Powerade, Vitamin Water, or Team PepsiCo, which is Mountain Dew, Pepsi, Gatorade, Orange Crush, and Dr. Pepper. That's a damn good series.
That one does.
So at the point for Team Coke is Coke. Sprite at the 2, Fanta at the 3, Powerade at the 4, Powerade, and Vitamin Water at the 5.
So let's break this down.
Coke is a plus, Sprite's a plus. Those are really good. Coke, Sprite, Fanta is a big.
It's a big 3.
That's a big 3.
100%.
Powerade is a really good pro.
It's a big knock.
No, Powerade's good, and Vitamin Water stinks.
But is fun and nostalgic.
Right.
So
but
now
then
let's see the other side here.
We're playing against Mountain Dew, who's just freak
Wild card.
Freak athlete. Pepsi.
Plus player.
KG vet.
Yep.
Gatorade.
Great. Superstar.
Orange Crush, not as good as Fanta.
Not as good as Fanta.
And the Dr. Pepper.
The Doctor could be the best player in the series, Danny.
Yeah.
So
that's a great part to end it.
That's fair. So Coach of Scientists, in this matchup, who are you picking?
Anything with Dr. Pepper.
See, listeners, that's fair. I'll give you that. But what y'all don't know, in the pre-show meeting with myself, Queen C, and Mr. Smith,
Coca-Cola?
the three of us who were on the pre-show had this very long, not heated, but a very interesting discussion about it. And at first, I thought it was a lot closer than what it was made out to be. But after further discussion, it may go 7 games, but Coke isn't winning. And I had to learn to accept that. Not Queen C, Coach of Scientist, you have something? Why did you give me that face for?
Another thing. I still anything with Dr. Pepper because Dr. Pepper is just like all the flavors together, basically. So it tastes like to me. And it's my childhood favorite, so I will never, ever, 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 ever change my thought.
Okay.
Ever.
Mr. Smith or Queen C, would you like to provide the analogy that we had in our discussion yesterday? Mr. Smith, go ahead.
I'll start it off. So Coke started off really well with Coke and Sprite, right? That's kind of like the D-Wade LeBron combo. Fanta, yeah, I could give it that. Fanta's really good. The weak links is Powerade and Vitamin Water. Powerade is like Zaza Pachulia. And Vitamin Water is like Dikembe Mutombo on the Sixers. Then you go to the Pepsi. Mountain Dew is Anthony Edwards. Not even close. Pepsi, Kobe Bryant. Again, not close. Gatorade, Kevin Durant. Orange Crush, you might be able to finagle a little bit out of there. Who knows? As Culture Scientist said, Dr. Pepper Shack. I'm sorry. Dr. Pepper is whooping Vitamin Water's ass in the post. Anthony Edwards and D-Wade can kind of cancel each other out. Kobe and LeBron can cancel each other out. Kevin Durant is cooking Fanta. I mean, Gatorade ain't even close. Gatorade's going 30 and 10 easily. And then Dr. Pepper is getting 20 boards and 20 points. So, yeah, you say 7. I may give it 6. I'm going for gentleman's sweep.
Oh, don't do that. You will not be disrespectful. Do not do that. We had a whole conversation. You said that shit went 7. Don't.
No. I said 7. He said 6.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about
and then we went to the bench players and realized Pepsi had some stars on the bench, and I said that shit is over in 5.
Don't do this.
So-
Y'all are so disrespectful to Coke, man. I will not stand for this.
But,
I will
mean,
die on this
girls
hill.
in the bathroom and they ain't doing Pepsi.
but have you noticed lately?
I'm sorry.
Look, wait.
Corner. Listeners, if he leaves that in the podcast, just know that Queen C is in the corner for the next part of this segment. All the same, y'all let us know what y'all think in the comments or on social media. Which one do you think wins? Again, the matchup was Coke, Sprite, Fanta, Powerade, and vitamin water versus Mountain Dew, Pepsi, Gatorade, Crush, and Dr. Pepper. Speaking of shit that just gives me high blood pressure, this next segment about this blackity black coonish shuck and jiving watermelon eating, putting Kool-Aid on my watermelon black sandwich. Just listen to this.
Let's make Hennessy grape Kool-Aid fried chicken.
All right, bust your chicken down the middle, seasoning with my everything season. Hit it with the standard bread and procedure, a little bit of egg, flour that bad boy up, fried. Put the sauce, water in the pot, your Kool-Aid, your sugar, some of that grape drink, a mixture of cornstarch and water to thicken up, some honey and some Hennessy. Toss your chicken in that sauce, hit it with this Biscoff spread on the bottom of that bun, put everything together, and you know this busting.
Okay.
My man made a peanut butter and jelly with fried chicken and Hennessy.
The surprise part is the bakask.
The what?
How you say it?
Biscoff.
Nigga, that shit snatched my ankles. What? Somebody please help. I'm sorry, I am making consolable.
I said it real wrong. I know.
Wait, somebody say it for her, please.
I can't say words correct.
Biscoff.
And now we know why they are married.
No, because wording is hard.
However, I can say harder words.
Like what?
Ooh.
Transglyceric.
Transglycerol.
I can't say right now.
Okay. All right. What are your initial thoughts, Coach Scientist?
Like he did like a sneaky attack with that, with the spread at the end.
Okay.
That's not what he entitled it.
Dog, I'm more stuck on the fact that not only did he add Kool-Aid and Hennessy, put in purple grape juice with the.
I wasn't really like shocked by the Hennessy part. My question is, does it really taste like grape? Because you know how sometimes the flavor loses. That's the part I'm curious.
Dog, I don't
Is
like
that fat?
No. I mean, I won't like protein on them. I don't even care.
So what keeps it glazy?
Keeps it what?
Glazy. Okay.
Mrs.
I wanted to see how he did it again. Okay.
Mrs. Smith, we need to get a culture scientist dictionary going. Cause we are
got the nerve audacity.
Hey, at least my shit is funny.
First off, glazy.
What does
Perfect sense to what I'm talking about.
What keeps the glaze on it?
Yes.
Why did you just say glaze?
I like glazy.
You know what? We just go.
I knew what I was saying.
We trying to be a refined podcast.
We are, but it's also supposed to be fun.
Okay. I'm just stuck on the fact this man had a full great drink in there. That shit is wild. Queen C, go ahead.
Yeah, he basically made the Dave Chappelle joke come to life, where he's talking about the Sunny Delight commercial. It's like, oh, we got some purple stuff and we got some Sunny D, and it's the one kid in the back was like, ooh, I want that purple stuff. That's what he made. As far as the fried chicken sandwich, it's a no for me, dog. That looked like diabetes waiting to happen. But as far as the glaze, that would make some bomb ass baby shower meatballs.
Yes. I agree.
I can definitely see that. All I'm gonna say is, nigga, you ain't gonna be regular for a week after eating that shit. You're gonna be constipated for hours.
You're gonna need some laxatives, milk and mag, some
All right, Mrs. Smith, do you have any thoughts?
I thought that I've seen a lot of niggerish stuff in my life, but the fact I don't know, what's worse. The fact that it's the fried chicken with everything on it, or the fried chicken with great Kool-Aid, or the fact that it's like the nigga hit the infinity stones of nigger stuff. The only thing that was missing was just watermelon and Southern hymns. That's really all that's missing from this. Like this is ridiculous. So
for real. Take away. I'm not gonna say it again because you're gonna laugh. I'm gonna say it wrong.
Say what?
Biscoff.
That's right.
No. Let her figure it out. This is
I am going to help my sister out. It is
The peanut
Biscoff.
butter like spread.
Okay.
Okay. You replace that,
Mm-hmm.
and you take some watermelon stuff,
Okay.
like a jam, make a watermelon jam.
I literally said watermelon salsa.
What? Not well. I don't really like a salsa, so I'm thinking like a jam because I'll eat a jam now.
Lord, that's just a lot of.
Ooh, for some tenders. What? Make it two style. Okay.
All right, Lord.
Sorry. My bad.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm just so conflicted because at first when he breads the chicken with everything, it's like, okay, it looks good, it looks perfectly fried, it looks great. Then the man makes the Kool-Aid with hot water, sugar, Welch's grape juice, and a couple other things other than the Hennessy on top of it, the glaze, and then you put the Biscoff creamy peanut butter spread on a. I feel like I don't know. I honestly, I don't even. Sometimes this shit makes me speechless because this seems like some jail shit. Like, no bullshit. This seems like some jail shit. Like, it's like, nigga, I got some hot shit for you. Hold on, let me get to my cell real quick. I got you. And you eat this shit, and it's like, oh my God, it's the best thing since sliced bread. Like, nigga, where did you go? Okay, listeners, there was a story I gave maybe back in like season 1 or 2 about the stripper from Jamaica that shot Red Stripe 6 feet from the back of the stage somewhere from something. And the question that we had was, how bored did you have to be to figure out that you could do that? In this case, nigga, how did you figure out? You know what would go good with this fried chicken? Some grape Kool-Aid, some grape Concord juice, and some Hennessy as a glaze. How bored did you have to be to get to this point? I have questions. But as Queen C said, that's going to be a hard no for me, dog, because I just felt my chest exploding as I watched it. I'm good.
Like, dog, that is a damn shame.
I felt myself teleport back into slavery.
Can you imagine if they offered this to Harriet Tubman?
Wow.
Niggas ain't gonna be able to make it to the Underground Railroad.
Dog, they're gonna be walking. They're gonna be walking, talking about, all right, all we gotta do is cross this river. You know what, dog? I'm gonna go ahead and take me a little nap. That sandwich.
No, instead of the NyQuil plant, she go give this to the baby so they don't cry.
Oh damn.
That baby ain't never gonna wake up.
Oh damn.
That baby gonna go to sleep with a fistful of fried chicken.
Oh, and that you can't get that shit out. Not with them babies. They keep them
not at all. You know what else is crazy and wild? This next story.
Cruise with Jackson, my new husband. We met in church 2 years ago. The cruise, our honeymoon, was our raffle prize. Second night on the cruise, I got sick and I retired to our cabin. Jackson returned to our cabin hours later, drunk and bruised. He had a puffy eye and long scratches on his back.
Uh-oh.
Jackson said that when we get home, we must find a new church. Him, these are wicked people. Me, why? What happened? Jackson was so drunk and angry that he told the truth. My husband and 2 other church members were running a train on him. The other men attacked Jackson because he took too long to climax. And the other men wanted a quickie because they had to return to their wives.
Oh, no.
So the 2 men jumped him and pulled him off the woman. The woman left. They fought him again. Him, you know I can't climax fast. Me, you got your ass beat at an orgy? It dawned on him that he confessed to cheating. Him, I'm drunk. It said it was an exorcism, not an orgy.
Oh, boy.
Cut my losses or forgive him and move on.
Oh, no.
How the hell? How the fuck are you supposed to move on from that?
I don't even understand this nonsense. He wouldn't even be able to finish that story. That would have been out. He would have been out in. You need to go find them.
Bro started with a train and then said it was an exorcism.
Negative.
An exorcism on a cruise?
Negative. I don't know what kind of cruise it is. But see, that's why I go on Virgin, because that stuff don't happen on Virgin. No. Well, at least not the church folks.
The cruise might be Virgin. It don't mean anybody else is.
What? What the fuck? Yeah, see, this is why, church people, I don't know, man. That is a lot going on. So you got your ass beat because you weren't a quick pumper. Is that do I have that correct?
Yes.
Like you got your ass beat because you were a distance runner and not a sprinter.
Facts. You were a decathlon and not the 100 meters.
Okay, I had to make sure I understand the context. And then had the nerve-dacity to say he thought it was an exorcism. With your dick? You trying to fill it with the Holy Spirit?
Nope.
I ain't never heard her call that before.
There was something that I was like, "Oh, Jesus, go send me the hell." If I say that, let me stop while I'm ahead right now.
Quietly.
So I think we're all on the same page. Ain't no coming back from that.
No, not at all.
Nigga, can you imagine that's like day 1 or 2 on the cruise, and you got like 2 or 3 more days?
They say, they didn't do that. They saved that for like the last night.
Mr. Smith, go ahead.
So, first thing, there are so many layers to this story because number one, the first thing I picked up from it was me and the husband and 2 other men ran a train on this woman, but they had to make it quick because all 3 men were married. So you're like, wait, hold on, stop. So all 3 of you are in agreement. Hey, we're going to do this and then we're going to leave because we got to get back to our wives. And the woman's like, okay, you got to do this and you got to leave. So you got to get back to your wives. And then you got jumped mid-stroke because you couldn't be Noah Lyles. You had to be Sydney Laughlin. Okay, so then the second part of this is, so you got beat with your dick out. You got your ass beat with your dick out. That's what we doing.
That's a different type of beating.
But I'm gonna give you a hand clap because that the timing on that was ideal, perfect. So I
too bad he can't say the same.
Ooh,
damn,
double
homicide.
So for that, then you confess it. So if I'm the wife, I'm sitting there with my drink package because of course going on cruises, I'm getting the drink package. I'm sitting there with my drink like, so you got your ass beat in an orgy. Oh, so how did that transpire? Continue. I'm just drinking because at this point, yeah, you're when we get to land, you're done. It's a wrap, right? But then as I listened to this story, it just reminded me of me, Brother X, and Culture Scientist on Carnival. And the first day that we were on that cruise, and there was a family. Okay, set the scene. It's me, my ex, Culture Scientist, and Brother X. We are on this cruise. Listeners, I'm bullshit you not. It is literally the first day. We probably just got on the boat. We changed. We went to Guy Fieri's Burger Bar. We got our food, got a couple of drinks. We chilling. All of us are being educated Black people, reading our books, just sitting there watching. There's a Black family reunion that's about I'd say a good 50 people deep at least.
Mm-hmm.
And out of nowhere, Culture Scientist's senses just picked up on the fact that there was some commotion going on. So I'm like, okay. So she's like, I forgot who said it. I think it was either Brother X. And somebody said, "There's niggatry afoot." And
oh, that was me.
It
was.
And we all picked our heads up. And there's this one white girl who's drunk. I mean, listeners, she was like drunk, girls gone wild drunk. And she's talking spicy over some chairs and some towels to this Black guy. When I tell you the Black guy's auntie and Auntie's sisters came from the top deck downstairs and got in this girl's face. And the next thing we heard was, "That's why y'all a bunch of niggers." When I tell you the entire boat stopped and said, "Oh shit. Oh, you should have did that. Oh, we was like, oh, dead woman walking. She's about to die. She about to die." That is when I found out that there's a holding cell on the cruise, and we did not see her for the rest of the cruise.
Well, because she kept basically yelling at them, and they were trying very hard to not respond.
They were trying to be very cordial, like, I'm gonna cut you out, but I'm not gonna do anything crazy.
Correct. Even their responses were very cordial, and she just kept pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. It was a great show for us.
Mrs. Smith, I would like to come before the deacon board to confess my sins.
I know what you're gonna say. Oh yeah.
So listeners, and I don't know what it is about me and going out of the country, but it's not me that leaves the country. Like, once I cross international borders, it's not me anymore. It's Juan Don Cornelius III in my body. And while she's getting escorted away because the security came and got her, because everybody was like, nah, it was her, not the black family.
Thank you for honesty.
We basically, well, I'm sorry, let me not say we. See, I got to take accountability. Accountability is important. Republicans, we're looking at you. I have to take accountability. I decided to start the classic "na na na na" cheer,
and of course, like loyal people, we joined in.
And then there's
those people behind us.
There's a group of like five black young men, whatever, a little bit younger than us. They started fucking dancing, doing calisthenics. They had a fucking dice block from something that was one of the board games that was on the ship. And we're all literally getting the entire deck to sing this song while she's getting sent off to the gulag, basically.
It was great.
Good times.
Oh, yeah. That was probably one of the highlights of that trip for me, is you literally started something that the entire deck chanted as her drunk ass is waving and trying to stick her butt out and all that. We're just like, this is some nigga shit, but it is so great. I love being black.
Duh.
Yes.
We should have known after that we were gonna be on some bullshit, because then you had the karaoke when me and you almost fought at the gift shop. It's good times. Good times.
Don't remind me of that. We had to get the fuck back on that boat ASAP.
Oh yeah. Expeditiously. All right. Shit just be coming at you fast. Not for a boy who got his ass beat for other people, but shit comes at you fast, like this next story.
Love, they yell at each other all the
time.
Oh,
that's true. Ask him, he's been married for how long?
Over 20-something years.
Over 20.
Look at him though, he look mad. You don't look happy, brother. You don't look happy.
He's very happy.
Min Chow, a former TV show bailiff and current Harris County deputy charged with his wife's murder, now ordered not to attend her funeral. Renard Spivey appeared before a judge today. He's facing very specific rules for his bond. David Gonzalez explains.
Coach Scientist, I need the listeners to know the face that she made when she realized how that story changed. She looked went from ha ha ha.
I mean, laughing, but damn.
Life really do become at you fast, man. You got thoughts?
Did he think he was gonna get away with it?
I don't know. My man looked like Mr. Clean on steroids. He don't look like he run anywhere.
That's crazy.
It is.
Wow.
Anybody else have thoughts? Dog, why is his head so big? That nigga looked like he's a distant cousin of Barry Bonds. I'm sorry, I just noticed that.
Hold on.
That nigga built like a milk dud.
Hold on. Question.
That nigga built like a fucking Tootsie Roll.
I never understood this.
Nigga built like a Tootsie Pop.
What? Of course you denied going to her funeral.
Yes. I don't know why that's even a question. Why would you be allowed to do that? Nigga, you the reason why there's a funeral.
You loved her till death.
Apparently. Nah, hold on. I had a fucked up joke. I'm sorry. I can't say it.
I love you,
Mrs. Smith, bleep this out.
Oh, God.
If it's about me, don't you?
It's not about you. No, dog said, how many?
That's so rude.
Hey, yo.
That's so fucked up.
Hey,
That's why I said bleep
yo.
that shit.
That's so fucked up.
Nigga.
I'm sorry, listeners. Brother X shit for that. That was fucked up.
I promise you, I will
Truthful will
delete the episode if you do
right
not
back
bleep
music. Like, no, that's not okay.
Was it an accident?
I don't know.
I don't think so. The way he walking, no.
No, he killed her on purpose, and he meant to kill her purposely.
You want to go to the funeral?
He want to make sure she dead.
Dang. Like, is he related to the elephant from that one story a couple seasons ago?
I was getting ready to say that.
I'm sorry.
I don't know, but he built like one.
No. Man, he built like a mastodon.
That elephant, bro.
Yes. But I'm
His
sorry.
head looked like a bullet.
But on very serious note.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna go to the corner.
Go ahead, Coach Scientist.
Very sad for her. And her
Yeah.
I already know I'm not seeing the pearly gates, so I'm sorry, listeners.
You definitely not.
His head is shaped like a missile.
Go back on mute, please. Now, focus.
Did he take her out with a headbutt?
Both of y'all. Porter, shut the hell up. Damn. Anywho, listeners, it's messed up because it is a bailiff from a TV show. So, you know, their court cases are not really real. It's really scripted. But it's just the fact that this, like, record scratch just came immediately. Like, I'm sure you've seen this clip before where homeboy said, "You don't look happy, brother." And the guys laugh, chuckling about it. But then to go from that to his mugshot is like, oh, damn. The nigga was right all along. And
he didn't look happy. Even when he was trying to laugh it off, he looked miserable.
Yeah, I could see that. But it's just, damn.
My plan. Well, I might as well do it now.
They have the nerve to have on this damn brown plaid suit.
I was trying not to say nothing about the suit.
Looking like motherfucking Shannon Sharp.
I was gonna say Mr. Brown from Medea's movies and stuff.
Oh yeah,
he got the Mr. Brown walk down.
And Mr. Brown went to the gym.
Instead of Mr. Brown having a gut, he got shoulders. Yeah, that's
the next Tyler Perry play. Mr. Brown goes to jail.
But overall, one of the craziest plot twists, I will definitely say.
For real.
Hold on, last one. My man built like a brown egg.
Oh.
Go to the next story, please.
We'll be right back. All right. After I have went to church and come back a week later to our topic.
You got to our church and another church, and then the one that you.
Oh yeah, no, I had my mother.
The one where you say, "You go in the box."
I about to say yes. I did 7 Hail Marys.
Yes.
Full of grace, all those things. Let's go ahead and get into this week's topic. So if you haven't already seen it already, and I don't know how I'm going to name this episode, but I decided I wanted to start this new series. Trying to have some introspective reflection on things that we have had going on, because Queen C brought it to my attention the other day that we're almost about 4 years into this podcast, which is really crazy to think about. And I wanted to take some time to kind of recenter ourselves, which is crazy for me to say with what I've said earlier in this episode, so I don't know who I thought I was. But in all honesty, I want to take some time to think about this topic of, if you were able to have the ability to have a conversation with a younger version of you or younger version of yourself, what would you talk about? So the first thing I want to kind of put on the floor for anybody to kind of answer is, I will want you to pick an age of a younger you. Has to be at least 2 or 3 years. Can't be within like the last year or last 9 to 10 months. Has to be at least 2 years or more. Pick that age, and what would be a topic you would want to talk with them about? Mr. Smith.
So I had to go back and forth about this because there's two ages that I would want to talk to. I'm gonna talk to the 18-year-old me because the 16-year-old me, the only thing I would tell them is, nigga, go to junior prom. Okay. Go with the go to junior prom and have a good time. But for 18-year-old me, I would want to talk about his confidence and the fact that you are better than you think you are. And yes, you may not have, you know, you may not have the, what's the word I want to use? Probably, you may not have the examples in front of you, being that you're an only child, but don't let that hinder you from how you are, because it's amazing what you learn as you get older. And I would just want him to start that confidence much earlier than what? I think that was 20. Yeah, I think it was about 20 when it finally started to really click. So I would start with that.
Okay. What about you, Quincy?
I struggled with this one because I was like, there could be, 29, almost 30-year-old me with the whole pandemic thing. There could be, college age me, 18 to like 21. But I think I would go back and talk to middle school me.
Okay.
And I would let her know that you're being made fun of because these people see something in you that you've not quite seen in yourself yet. Definitely, like Mr. Smith said, along the lines of confidence. She knew she was intelligent. She knew she was a good person. She did not know or understand why she was being bullied. And she had, unfortunately, very low self-esteem, and dealt with body dysmorphia, which in and of itself is a horrible thing to have to deal with. But I would just tell her that, listen to the people around you that love you, and know that when someone makes fun of you, it's because they're seeing what they're lacking in you.
Okay. Respect. Coach Scientist, do you have one?
I do.
Okay.
I feel like it's a little bit of a mixture.
Okay.
Definitely around my teenage years. So
Okay.
probably, I want to say 16. I want to say 16 is a good sweet spot.
Right.
I'll get back to that in a moment. But I would also go back to like, I want to say like 5th grade. And it's when I make the decision to quit Girl Scouts.
Okay.
And the reason why I chose to quit Girl Scouts was because I felt that it meant I had to close off that part of myself. And that I had to basically, I was basically giving in to what other people, that was the beginning of me giving in to what other people thought.
Okay.
I've always, stomped to my own tune in my own way. Even when I followed the crowd, I still always had my own like way to show myself.
Right.
But when I really, really think, I feel like that was the moment that I can remember.
Okay.
When I made like a decision where I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna do this anymore. And boom. I feel like that's when stuff started.
Okay.
But I feel like if I would have stuck with that, I would have told myself to stay with team things.
Okay.
And that maybe I would have taken different avenues. And then that takes me back to my 16-year-old self. Number one, remember to take the exams once you finish those courses, so you can start making money. early on.
For the listeners, what courses are you talking about?
Well, high school, I went to 2 high schools a year. I've always been very, very, very ambitious, very, 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 very focused. So I went to 2 high schools a year. In my junior year, I was able to go to Area Technical Trade Center, and I basically did medical medical assisting and certified nursing assisting. I did all of the courses, but I never went for the actual test and got like the certifications, which in hindsight was dumb. But those are just like little things like, hey, remember to do that because that would help you. Like that would help me now if I would think about that. And then to remember, like learn this lesson earlier now is that your life in general does not always have to look like the career wise, doesn't always have to look the way you expect it. So take the unexpected.
Okay. I can definitely see that. And that makes a lot of sense because there's a lot of things that I could say the same thing when I had when I was in Cub Scouts. That was something that I wish I stuck with, as well as playing the piano. There's a lot of things that I regret not doing. I guess for me, there's a couple because
I want to be clear though. I don't regret anything.
Okay.
I sometimes wonder if I took this direction, like career wise, what would I be? All those different things. If the choices I made, like in my career, would I be in a better spot? Would I have made better decisions? Things like that. I don't really regret. Yeah, I can't say it's regret. It's a different feeling, but it's not regret.
Well, I think part of what, and to maybe back things up a little bit before I give my take, is that when I thought about this topic, what I envisioned is that I remember seeing some type of Instagram reel a while ago from like it was animated, and it was always a question of like it was like an older version of one person, and it had like their youth version of themselves, and it was with the audio caption of, "What do you want to be when you grow up?"
Yeah.
And the constant one, because there's like different versions of it. The kid version of the adult version said, "Be kind." So in my mind, it was like, if we were going to have these conversations, like you were transported back to that time where you could sit down with that person, no other things could be affected. That's where it's at. So with that being said, I think for me, honestly, it's really just a tie. I can't really like delineate between the two. The first one probably have to be 21, 22-year-old me. Mr. Smith and Quincy and the coach scientists all know that for a long time before the culture scientists, I had a very interesting relationship with relationships and dating, to say the least. Some really short ones, some other not so great ones. But I want to go back to, was it 21? No, I'm sorry, maybe 22, 23. Mr. Smith will remember this. BFC, I think it was like the third or fourth one. Me and a particular ex that I had, wasn't ex at a time, we had a nice little conversation. We had a relationship that was on and off that I met like the last semester of college at Hampton University. And I'm giving this backstory so you guys can understand what I would say to my future self or past self, is that we would have this conversation. We're planning this trip to go to the BFC. We've talked about it on the podcast. And this particular person, we had been doing long distance. And honestly, for this trip, we had a conversation where it was like, yes, thank you, BFC 5, where we were discussing, okay, I'll get the tickets for the event. You take care of the hotel. Because my ex said that she had a discount with her job. Listeners, I'm a very smart person when I want to be, but I can be very dumb and hard-headed because I don't learn the lesson when I need to learn the lesson. But my ex swore up and down she was going to take care of the hotel where we're going to stay for the actual event, because we were staying at Mr. Smith's old one-bedroom apartment the night before. But then we're supposed to have a hotel the following day. So I literally had a situation where it's literally, I don't want to say, was it the morning of? Matter of fact, yes, it was the morning of. We woke up. My ex pulled me aside. I should have known because I known her character. When she did something like that, usually it means there's some type of fuck up, and I'm about to be pissed off. And anybody on the podcast will tell you, when I get pissed off, the shit is scary because never let myself get to that point. So long story short, she never got the tickets, or not the tickets, never got the hotel room. So mind you, this is an event that you need to get hotel or arrangements months in advance because anything else is going to be charging an arm and a leg. And mind you, I don't make a lot of money now, but I sure as hell wasn't making that much money back then. I was like fresh out of college, basically learning how to be an adult. So thanks to Queen C, Mr. Smith, and his ex at the time, they allowed us to be able to stay in one of the parts of the suites of the rooms that they had while Queen C took the pull-out couch. Thank you again. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Side note, that bitch still on my hit list.
I've learned to let that go, but yes, I get what you're saying. So it would be simple enough. It was just that. But also, one of the things with the cookout was literally, hey, lines be long as shit for food. You need to eat ahead of time. Culture scientist, when I tell you, hey, I need you to eat or do something ahead of time because this shit gonna get annoying, what do you probably do?
Normally, you provide me with some sort of sandwich ahead of time.
Because
breakfast sandwich.
I make sure you fed.
You know that it will take me forever to eat it, but it will keep me fed.
Yeah, this particular ex didn't want to. She didn't want to listen. So she's gone an hour. We have a booth or a section at the cookout. I'm pissed. Like, I was ready to like walk off, leave her at the cookout pissed. Long story short, we resolved the issue that evening, but we went to Waffle House and nigga, Mr. Smith, you know.
It just for correction, it was IHOP, but yes.
And another side note, Mr. Smith, she also on my hit list.
I knew you was gonna say that shit.
Oh,
I knew you was gonna go there.
Hey. She not on the hit list, but she on my other hit list.
Yes. But long story short, that happened. And then not even 6 months later, Homecoming had the same exact situation. Literally, hotel, tickets to the party. I had to do a scramble drill to try to figure things out. And I ended up breaking up with her that weekend of that homecoming. But if I were to have the conversation with myself for that particular situation, is that the thing that my father said to me was, how many times are you going to let yourself get on this merry-go-round before you get off the ride? And I would tell my younger self or talk to him about, hey, you got to learn to let shit go a lot sooner and not hold on out of fear that you're not going to find something else. And that was probably the biggest thing that I wish I had learned, because there have been a lot of shit that I held on to because I had FOMO. I felt like I had a very weak sense of self and confidence in who I was, and I wasn't the person that I am today, who knows himself well enough that I would talk to my previous self right around that time and be like, dog, it's gonna be okay. Learn to be okay with yourself, by yourself. You're gonna be all right. There's gonna be other situations. There's gonna be other adventures. There's gonna be other people, and
better people.
Really dope person with locks and superhero leggings.
And a bomb-ass wife.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's that one, and then honestly, I'll keep this other one short. Simply, I would talk to 2022, 2021, 2022. So that would mean I was 31, 32. I would try to have a conversation with myself within the last 3-4 years, just to be like, hey, be prayed up, continue to go to therapy because of everything that happened within the last couple of years. And we've highlighted on the podcast. I would just try to mentally prepare myself, because as much as I know that I didn't do something wrong within that time frame, for my conscience, I would want to want to have done more. Not from a standpoint where I could have changed things, but to have spent more time with my pops or gone about things with the wedding slightly differently, not in a bad way, but just major events that I had going on and just embracing those moments and taking more time and not being afraid to be like, oh, I'm going to fuck it up. You know?
Yeah, I would have embraced more moments with my brother. I would have known, just certain things.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say,
Mhm.
which I think is relevant to everybody,
Yeah.
is another cool age would be cool to revisit is like age 5. Like,
Yes.
what were you thinking at age 5? What did you want to be? Just to help revitalize who you are as an adult, like now, so you can go back and be like, yes, okay, I remember who I wanted to be now, or just the little simple joys of life.
Dog, that's crazy because it's like someone had the expression of someone said, you are the version of you that you will want to protect you when you were a child.
Yeah.
And dog, when I heard that for the first time, nigga, I had the glory tear coming down my face. Quincy, go ahead.
Going off the culture scientist point, I think my 5-year-old self would realize that she is basically the same, just an adult. She wanted to be left alone then, and she still wants to be left alone now. And all I can say to 5-year-old Queen C is, nigga, we made it.
I just wanted friends and houses and stuff.
Dog, my youngest self would not have recognized me at all. I was still a church kid, really young, no locks, all that. Oh, you would have thought I was a superhero to my youngest self because I never would have envisioned when I was younger that I would look the way that I look now and talk the way that I talk now. But yeah, no, I think that's a big part. Oh, and I think I've told y'all this before. When I was like 5, 6 years old, I wanted to not only be a fireman, but I wanted to be an astronaut and I wanted to be a preacher. All at the same time. I don't know how. I don't know what I was thinking. What about you, Mr. Smith?
I wanted to be a gamer. And when I was 5, I was playing Super Mario. Shout out Super Mario World. That was like the highlight, as an only child living in, I think it was like a 2-bedroom apartment or townhouse or something like that with my parents. And like having my room and just playing Super Mario, it was like everything was right with the world. That's really how I felt about it. So I was going to be a gamer when I was that age.
That's real. So, you sure? Are you sure you didn't want to be a member of Destiny's Child?
I mean, of course, that was always a long-standing thing, but that wasn't like at 5th grade. I mean, not 5th grade, 5 years old. That was like 5th grade.
Okay.
I remember what I wanted to be at 5th grade because it was my yearbook for sure.
Okay.
I wanted to be a pediatrician and a comedian.
But you're not. Never mind. I love you. All right.
Thanks.
Love you too.
Just got more detailed.
Okay. But next thing I want to ask is, and I feel like we'll probably all say no to this, but let's humor it if you really have the opportunity. Let's take the easy answer of saying no out of the picture. Are there any events that you would alter that would help you alter the future from like past events? Like, say for example, if you had a time machine, you go back and there are certain events that you would alter that could change the future and things would be better and there wouldn't be the threat of like something negative happening, would you change it? Or what's an example of that you would do? Mr. Smith.
So there's 2 of those. One, which it's funny, actually, which is why it was teacher baby, listen, I love you. But we can actually have these conversations, and unlike previous times, she won't judge me for my thoughts going out there. But one of the moments was that I would alter is, like I said earlier, I would tell my 16-year-old self, nigga, that girl asked you to go to junior prom with her and her friend. Nigga, if you don't get your ass up and get a tuxedo and go, damn. Because that probably would have ended up being a relationship that I actually wanted since freshman year of high school. I think I was crushing on her that long. So I might alter that. And then the only other thing that I probably will alter to circumvent would be ooh, there's ooh. Probably the night that I was in the car with a fake blood, ex prostitute, and an ex game banger as they're going to take out somebody. I would not have gotten that car.
Okay.
Yeah.
We gonna have to make that a bonus episode.
No, I mean, I trust me. I'm not gonna go long. I'm gonna make it quick. For the record, listeners, if you're listening, Drewski, you left me, and I still owe you an ass for this. But Drewski had and what's the word I want to use? Devilfish Stew had left to go pick up some people from ODU and left my slightly inebriated ass with a whole bunch of people from, I forgot what motorcycle club they were a part of, but they also did bouncing for New Face. Well, one of the we were. I don't want to incriminate. We'll do the full story on a bonus episode, but let's put it this way: somebody got a text message. People said we're gonna roll out. It apparently got into the back of a black Honda Accord with a fake blood, an ex-prostitute, and two dudes that said, yo, make sure you scrape the serial numbers off those bullets so that way it doesn't get traced. And I was like, why the fuck am I here? I need to go. Why am I here? What is happening? And thank God shout out to our big brother Chris, who was like, Mr. Smith, this is not you. Go to such and such's apartment. I'll text you if anything goes down or if it's time to go. We'll have the full story on a bonus episode.
Oh yeah, we coming back to that shit. Is there an event you would go back to and change, cultural scientist?
Well, mainly the thing about taking those courses.
Okay.
Taking those exams. I think that would change like a huge amount of like that part at least.
Okay.
What else? I think that would be the main thing. Like,
okay.
And then mainly just like try, like I said, just try out for more things, try more things, and stop trying so hard. But I don't have like a main event. That's the main thing. Maybe go back to before the PhD when I started stressing out. Should have maybe taken the moment and taken a break, which they allowed, but I didn't listen because I was like, no, I had to finish. So,
yeah. Quincy, what about you?
Yeah, I have some that, like, I know everything happened for a reason, and it's all made me the person I am today. But one thing I always thought about is, what if I had actually been able to complete my undergrad studies at Hampton and done more than, my freshman year? Because even, 16 years later, going back to homecomings, and people still remember me, which is crazy. But I feel like so much would be different had I actually been able to do the full 4 years there. The other one would be a little bit less fearful. One of the dreams I had, which is hilarious when people find out, but I either wanted to be on Big Brother or The Real World. And because I love reality competition, so the whole reason for me to be on The Real World would be to do the challenge. And I feel like had I had things not happen and not going back to Hampton, but if other things didn't happen, I would have probably applied to be on The Real World for sure, just so I could be on the challenge. And I feel like I would have made it because I don't know about anybody else, but I think I have a fantastic television personality. Maybe not, but looking at the people that ended up on the show, I definitely have more personality than half of them. So
I will say to your first thing that I would go back and change, and I would probably need ours would have to coincide with each other linking up. I would need to go back and change some of the girls that I had my nose wide open chasing behind. And I know for a fact, since Mr. Smith was already graduated, I know if you were still there, you would have had to whoop my ass a couple of times to yoke me up and be like, hey,
Absolutely.
Hey, don't do that.
Because hey, you would be the reverse for me with niggas that had my nose wide open.
See, that was the thing. I didn't know about that shit until after the fact. I was like, oh, I never knew it was that bad.
That shit happened on a sneak tip, and all of a sudden it was like, relationship.
Yes. Sneak tip. I see what you did there. All right. But no, I would like I said, I would honestly go back. I would go back and change not being able to finish becoming part of the organization that I became a part of. I would have finished Sigma in undergrad. And I only say that not because I wanted to see what it'd be like to be undergrad Greek. It's more so just I wonder how it would have been different for me versus how I kind of see Greek life now, you know? Because it would have been those things where I would have had, realistically, I would have had about 3, depending on if I still kept everything else from college, about 3.5 years of being Greek on campus. That would have been wild. Yeah, man. It was one of those things that I find that I wish I would go back for. And then honestly, I think that might be the biggest thing. I just really would just go back and stop a lot of dumb shit that I had my nose wide open, chase behind, trying to put on some type of persona and just be me. Because hell, being me is what everybody pretty much remembered from when I was in undergrad. Because when we go back to homecoming, none of the shit that I was trying to put on or trying to portray even mattered. The shit that I did consistently of me being part of the pep squad or being an RA or just knowing damn near everybody for whatever walk of life. Yeah, that was the shit that really mattered.
Oh, look, I married myself.
Oh, that's an interesting way of putting it, but yes.
Yeah, I mean, to that core part of what you just said.
Yeah.
Yes. When you said about the anger part, it also made me get a little close. Yeah.
Oh, I will also say that I would go back and get rid of a lot of my anger issues. Honestly, Mr. Smith, you will probably say it's worth it to keep the nickname. I would have gone back and fixed some of my quickness to being angry, so I would never get the nickname Wild Out. I would have rather had another nickname. I would have gone back and changed the reason why I got that nickname.
But it works because we're brother and sister, and I'm Drumline. Like we got the whole we're Nick Cannon's kids. He just doesn't know it.
But you know why I had the nickname Wild Out, and
we all knew.
I did not. As much as I still have that shirt sitting somewhere at my parents' house, as much as I enjoyed that nickname, yeah, I would. In retrospect, I would have tried to let that shit go a long time ago. It was not worth it. Mr. Smith, you had a thought about that?
But this is my face, you know. Okay, I'm not gonna do it.
I was getting ready to say, I will put you in the dirt.
See, shout out Dunlap. I was talking reckless phase, and I'd rather not have that phase anymore.
Shout out Dunlap.
Oh God, that shit was hilarious. No, I just, like you said, it's certain things that we could say, we could circumvent. I mean, obviously, the biggest thing we would say is we wouldn't change a lot because it made us who we are today, which kind of goes into our last point and how like the lessons we learned brought you to where you are now. And it's funny when I think about the difference between my previous relationships and where I am with Teacher Bay. Teacher Bay, along with several others, have said multiple times, like, I don't think you realize how attractive you really are. Like, you got people looking at you, they just won't say shit, but you are so oblivious that you won't see it your damn self. And 18-year-old me wouldn't understand that. Hell, 21-year-old me wouldn't understand. 21-year-old might.
There was that
21-year-old you would not understand. That might have been the final semester, spring, before he graduated.
Oh yeah, no, he was
but early young 21-year-old Mr. Smith, nah, I had to point some shit out. I'm like, sir, They looking at you, sir.
Nigga, your ass could have been nicknamed Aquafina if you really wanted it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no.
I understand what he's talking about because like once I graduated, all the people was in my inbox, and I was like, we went to school together for 4 years.
Oh yeah, no, dog.
Yes. No, some of these niggas I knew since elementary school. You gonna wait 6 months after graduation. You know I always had a crush on you. Too late.
And like if I could have just realized the confidence.
Oh no.
That I actually had.
You know what the funniest thing is, Mr. Smith and Queasy, y'all will enjoy this. If I had the confidence that I had in 2015,
yep,
in my college body, I would have been a hoe. I would have been a righteous hoe.
Let me tell you something. My confidence in myself now, as an 18-year-old at Hampton, baby, bodies would have been had.
Oh yeah, no. Oh, you remember that list, that tier list of like top 10, top 5?
Oh, I would have been the highest up on the sister side of the list. Like I would have been a dog.
Listen,
I'm thinking about no, you could have, yeah.
I could have been top 5. I would have been a dog.
She easily is top 3 if she actually had it. Yes.
If the confidence I have now, is the body I had from 18 to like 24.
There's only 2 people I could put ahead of Queen C if she realized that, and that's only because we know their track record.
That's what gave me pause. I was like, I know some things about some things and some things with things.
Like, when I went back after a while and I literally pulled somebody. They fully acknowledge that they did not bag me. I bagged them. And I have eyewitnesses to prove it.
Bag is a very interesting term. I'd use something else, but we just gonna keep going.
I'm about to say you pulled a hat trick is what you did.
Go.
No comment. Nope. I'm leaving that one alone.
There's just a lot of confidence. That's one thing that I feel like is a lesson. Is just I wish there was so much more confidence that we had in ourselves versus when we were in undergrad, because that could have saved so much other shit. There's so many things. Yeah, go ahead.
Junior year, my sister and I went for Thanksgiving. I don't know if it was junior year, maybe it was sophomore year, but I got I call them my hooker heels. My first pair of high, like with platform, they were super high and they had a little ruffle on top. So I called them my hooker heels because for me, they were high as crap. And I was like, look at me. Listen, you can't tell me nothing. Take that confidence with the confidence I have now, plus, let's say the body between like a little bit of 18, a little bit of 24. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Like if I had my body from 18, dog, freshman year body, man, honestly, my finishing up high school body from football, yeah. Now that body was different. That body, whoo, boy, them knees didn't hurt when you stood up. Boy, man.
When I could walk in heels, I didn't know that my foot could hurt like that.
There's just a lot of shit that I look back and I'm like, oh, I could have done something.
You talking about walking heels. I was walking in heels from middle school, so I was running in heels.
Yes. I like to remember, like, what? You can run? Yes.
Oh, yeah. Outran a bunch of dudes in the hills. They were like, oh, you got it. You got it. Mm-hmm.
These are facts, listeners. These are facts.
We really do need just like a bonus episode of telling old stories from Hampton or Shaw.
Yes.
I won't be on that episode.
The one about stories from Shaw?
Because there's 3 of you from Hampton.
But we say both.
I understand that. But do you understand the lack of overlap and the more overpower that will occur? It's okay.
We can have a Shaw episode.
Yeah, it could be split. We
could have people from Shaw. We could get somebody on the pod. All right. But listeners, we start slowly but surely getting back off the track again.
Of course.
But honestly, I think we can leave it at this point. I think a good thing that we look at with all this, and this is kind of leads into our transparent moment, is just embrace those times when you're reflective. Learn how to not only be reflective on things that you learned from past lessons, but continue to guide yourself in a way where if you were to talk to your younger self, what would you tell them, and would your younger self be proud of your current self? And if it's not, then hey, try to get back in touch with your inner child, as a therapist would say. What will make your inner child happy? For me, it was video games and strip clubs, but that's beside the point. Yes. Podcasting and other things. Obviously, Queen C step stools and animal print. Mrs. Smith chicken tenders and arcade games. Nah, but in all seriousness, man, just continue to make your inner child proud. That's probably the best transparent moment we got for today. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and close out this episode. You can always hit us up on our social media at the TNT Pod 123 on Twitter, Truth and Transparency Pod on Instagram, Truth and Transparency Pod on TikTok, the Truth and Transparency Podcast on Facebook, the Truth and Transparency Podcast on YouTube. And if you have any thoughts, opinions, things you want to share with us, you can always email us at truthandtransparencypod123@gmail.com. For the culture scientists, for Queen C, Mr. Smith, and myself, and all of our fans and supporters, if this podcast gets no bigger than what it is right now, they are forever grateful. We are forever grateful. In the immortal words of my father, eat the elephant one bite at a time. Peace.
Protect yourself, y'all.